The past couple of weeks have provided a ton of new news, especially surrounding Xbox themselves. However, in a more positive light, we have a ton of games being announced, including some Xbox timed exclusives and some big games also coming to Xbox Game Pass next month. Trust me, there is a game within these announcements that you certainly won't want to miss, so make sure to stick around to see why I'm so excited for it. With that, my name is Fletcher, and this is Xbox Nation, and let's dive right into these gaming announcements. First up, we had the announcement that Voidtrain is finally launching into its 1.0 state on the 7th of November, and yes, this one is also coming day one onto Xbox Game Pass. Voidtrain, of course, is currently already out in early access over on Steam, and the game puts you in the position of an engineer working aboard an interdimensional express train that's steaming through the void. This void is known as an ever-changing world full of mysteries and unique places for us to discover. Whilst we will be building, customizing, and upgrading our own train, we'll also be making weapons, taking on different enemies, and exploring floating islands with different puzzles and dangerous fauna. Honestly, this one looks pretty great, and if you're interested, it will land on the 7th of November, and I will try to get my review up on this one just prior to its launch date. For me, I'm really not the biggest fan of the spooky season. However, I know that many of you do enjoy it and love diving into some fantastic horror games when this season comes around. Well, if you want a pretty terrifying experience to dive into, then get ready for Beneath when it lands onto Xbox at the end of this month. To be honest, even though it's not my sort of game, it does look pretty fantastic. It looks like the game does blend stealthful shoot nature and the ammo scarcity of the Metro games, but with the tense combat and supernatural horrors of Fear or Japan 2. The devs did actually come out and state that they are always fans of the original Fear games and that they were a massive inspiration for their newest title. I do love how they also mentioned that there will be no microtransactions and did want to focus on a fantastic single player experience for their fans. Sticking in the theme of horror, and if you're fancying a fun survival horror game to sink into, then this upcoming title might be for you. Silly Polybeast is a story-driven twin-stick action game overflowing with the most grotesque monsters that you can imagine. You'll be playing as the unlucky Polly, who finds herself trapped in the underworld after escaping a nightmarish orphanage. You'll engage in fierce gun gameplay, partaking in skateboarding sections, and then come face to face with all kinds of terrifying enemies. It's definitely a game that looks to be worth keeping your eye on, especially at this spooky time of year. With games such as Call of Duty Black Ops 7 and Football Manager 26 on the way, November is already shaping up to be a pretty strong month for Xbox Game Pass. Now, Fellow Traveler has also confirmed that 1000X Resist will join Xbox Game Pass on the 4th of November for both of the Xbox Series X and S consoles, and it's really bringing another excellent addition to the library of Xbox Game Pass games. This one, though, is a sci-fi narrative-based adventure where a mysterious alien race arrives, spreading a disease that nearly wipes out all of humanity. In that instance, you'll be playing as Iris, a watcher who has access to the All-Mother's memories. However, when one of Iris' sister uncovers the All-Mother's lies and is executed, she sets out to uncover the truth. Over on Metacritic, this game currently sits with an impressive 86 Metascore, while on Steam it holds an overwhelmingly positive rating from over 4,000 reviews. It is safe to say that this one will definitely be worth checking out when it drops onto Xbox Game Pass next month. In case you missed the surprising news this week from Machine Games, they did decide to put out a teaser over on X, and yes, they are teasing a brand new game. This is all part of their 15-year anniversary celebration, and it has me and many fans of Machine Games really excited to see what's next for this incredible studio. They recently released Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and it does leave us all speculating what this next release could actually be. The most realistic theories being floated around do include a new Wolfenstein title or another Indiana Jones game. Phil Spencer did hint at the possibility of an Indiana Jones and the Great Circle sequel back in April this year, saying that the game's success proved that the long-running franchise still has life in it yet. What do you think this next game could be? You'll have to let me know in the comments below. Released on the Nintendo Switch and PC a few months ago now, House of the Dead 2 Remake is finally landing onto Xbox later this month. It hits the current and last-gen Xbox systems on the 24th of October, so you'll be able to snap this one up just in time for Halloween. A word of caution though, this remake didn't actually go down particularly well with players over on Switch and PC. Steam reviews are generally mixed to mostly negative, while few users on sites like Metacritic are pretty brutal. The game's renewed graphics have been criticised quite heavily, along with its controller-based controls. It is also worth noting that this is coming from the same company that did remake the first House of the Dead, and that also didn't review at the time of its release. I did actually have my hands on with the first one over on Google Stadia at the time of its release, and I did find it pretty okay, but I do understand the sentiment of why many didn't enjoy the first remake overall. The cult classic action RPG known as Sacred 2 Fallen Angel is also making a comeback seemingly out of nowhere, with Sacred 2 Fallen Angel Remaster launching onto both the Xbox Series X and S consoles alongside PC on the 11th of November. This new version though includes the original base game and its Ice and Blood expansion, presented with enhanced textures, overhauled UI, and also rebalanced gameplay based on community feedback. Believe it or not, is also getting a physical release on our Xbox consoles, which is available to pre-order over at Amazon right now for $30. While you won't find any pre-order deals, those yearning for a return to the classic hack and slash RPG, or just seeking an alternative to games like Diablo 4, Sacred 2 Fallen Angel Remaster may want to be your pickup for the next month. Archetype Entertainment's Exodus is now available to wishlist on the Xbox Store, with a new Q&A that also revealed a bunch of key information on this incredible looking game. While more details on gameplay, a release date and other info will be released at a later date, the Q&A did provide us with some interesting tidbits. For starters, the game's director, known as Chris King, was inspired by a number of titles when working on Exodus, notably that being Mass Effect, Horizon, and Metroid Prime. The game's combat in that instance is looking to be designed to feel cinematic and strategic, putting a lot of emphasis on player choice and agency. Furthermore, the variety of enemies will evolve as you progress throughout the game, starting out with some basic foes, and then progressing to some outrageously dangerous adversaries. Honestly, I can't wait to see more about this one, as it's easily one of my most anticipated for next year, and with that, it does launch onto Xbox sometime in 2026. It's not every day that us Xbox players are surprised with a free game. The latest free offering on the Xbox Store right now is a classic game that was originally released all the way back in 2008. Many of us did kind of assume that this one was shut down, but this RPG seems to be alive and kicking, and it's pretty incredible. Wizard 101 has been around now for 17 years, and it has you unleashing your inner magic and preparing to unravel the mysteries surrounding the death of a professor gone rogue. You can master powerful spells, explore over 22 whimsical worlds, and team up with your friends in this nostalgic wizard turn-based deck building MMORPG. Steam reviews for this one are actually very positive, with nearly 7,900 user reviews submitted on the PC digital storefront, with 83% of those being incredibly positive. It does seem more geared towards children though, but it may be worth checking out for this month. Something else that's worth checking out is making sure that you're subscribed down below for more Xbox content here every single day. This is a completely independent Xbox channel run by myself, and just hitting that subscribe button down below is a massive help as we grow closer to 100,000 subscribers by the end of this year. I want to thank you all for your support so far this year, and let's dive back into the remaining game announcements coming our way. The Control Ultimate Edition has just received a major update on both the Xbox Series X and S, adding in a bunch of current-gen tech features alongside the once PS4 exclusive mission featuring Hideo Kojima himself. You may remember that this patch actually went live on PC back in March of this year, and Remedy suggested that it was coming to Xbox in the near future. Of course, we did have to wait a bit longer than expected, but here it finally is. What's really cool is that this is free for all users, and it's been incredibly well received across the board. It has even enabled both of the Xbox Series consoles to play this game at 120 frames per second, of course on supported monitors. Have you delved into this new update yet? You'll have to let me know your thoughts on it in the comments below. If you've been looking for a fresh excuse to dive into something a little bit more retro, then you have a cracking update to the Xbox Game Pass Retro Classics collection this October. This time around, you've got 2 more Atari 2600 games to check out, plus 2 early PC games from the original Command & Conquer developers. The new Retro Classics update rolled out late on Wednesday, and you can access them all right now. The new additions are Ice Hockey, Moonsweeper, and then the 2 entries in the long-running Battletech series. This is certainly a great addition to that growing retro collection, and of course, as I mentioned, you can grab them right now. The masters of meticulous railway simulation are now tearing up the rulebook and heading into the underground with a brand new game that is so far removed from the Train Sim franchise. Dovetail Games has now announced Metro Rivals New York, and it's an innovative genre-defying simcade game that's set to launch in early 2026. It is a bold new chapter for this acclaimed studio, who actually trades their serene countryside roots for a more gritty, high-speed competitive battle for supremacy in near-future New York City subway systems instead. I don't think we've actually seen a train sim racing game since Extreme Express all the way back on the PlayStation 2, and shout out to many of you who remember that game. So if you're looking for some high-speed train shenanigans, then you might want to look forward to this one sometime next year. If you grew up on a healthy diet of Initial D and MF Ghost, then there's a good chance you'll probably have heard of JDM Japanese Drift Master. The game first launched on PC earlier this year and is a classic arcade street racer that's inspired by Sega's iconic Initial D cabinets and the likes of Ridge Racer. This one though includes a massive open world for you to explore from the cockpit of a slew of licensed cars, that including the likes of manufacturers like Mazda and also Nissan. The massive update to all of this is that the game will be arriving onto Xbox this November as a timed console exclusive, and I'm pretty hyped to be diving into this one. I know some reviews at the moment over on Steam do say the physics on racing wheels can feel slightly off, so hopefully we do get some adjustments prior to the Xbox launch next month. Thanks to Devolver Digital, we got a STARSEEKER Direct broadcast which does share some brand new details and an extended look at gameplay for STARSEEKER Astroneer Expeditions, and this one is in development for Xbox and should be arriving sometime next year. If you're unfamiliar, this one is actually set within the Astroneer universe, and this new game promises to take you on a multiplayer voyage of discovery, cooperative expeditions, and also camaraderie. We also got more of a look at exploring deep space, and it definitely looks like we must work together with the space station's entire crew to complete planet-wide objectives across multitude of star systems. I'm really digging this one so far, and the first Astroneer was such an absolute indie gem. Roll on 2026 when we finally get our hands on STARSEEKER sometime on our Xbox consoles. Of course, October is the month of bringing us a ton of horror announcements, and we've had quite a few in this video today, and one of the brand new ones is called Tenebrea. This is a first-person psychological horror game that's set in a student residence in Valencia, and it's actually inspired by true events. You play as Laura, a student who must face the mysteries hidden within their building. Your phone is your main tool, it's a flashlight that helps you move through the dark, while the EMF detector reveals paranormal activity such as voices, whispers, and terrifying presences. The devs have mentioned that exploration is honestly key to this one, as every room will hide more details that bring you closer to the truth, while puzzles and paranormal encounters will push you to your limits. It looks pretty frightening, and as someone who really can't do horror games, this one is a massive hell nah from me. So, are there any games that have you excited from any of these announcements? You'll have to let me know down below. Remember again to smash that like button if you did enjoy this video, and subscribe for more Xbox content like this every single day. Whilst you're here though, and if you want to check out some more awesome Xbox content, why don't you check out the video on screen now. I recently covered the 10 things that you need to know about Ninja Gaiden 4 prior to its release next week, and I tell you what, there's a lot of new things you definitely need to know about.